Hi, Amar. How are you doing?
Hi, Kalyan. Good to see you as well.
I'm excited about our partnership. I want to learn more about Protecto and the integration that you're developing with us. My name is Kalyan. I'm part of the product team responsible for technology partnerships here at Ivanti. Amar, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, we are excited about the partnership as well. My name is Amar. I'm the founder CEO of Protecto. I'm based out of San Francisco Bay Area. Prior to this, I was the co-founder of FileCloud, and before that I was with Microsoft in the search and AI division. And we are excited about this partnership because we are going to bring Protecto to help Ivanti customers to to adopt AI safely.
Yeah, as you share your screen, I completely agree with you. Ivanti has a lot of products that we cater to for the safety and the security of our customers. Primarily, there's a lot of data where they are in the process of connecting that with the LLMs, and the privacy is sort of super important. And we
Yeah.
and we as we have to protect their interests, we have to protect their data, and we have to provide necessary mechanisms to ensure that the enterprise data is at least has the necessary visibility, transparency, accountability, right? So we're talking about all the different aspects. Privacy and compliance become a key foundational pillars for
Absolutely.
deployment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly the problem area we tackle. So when you use your data in AI, some of the risk you're going to tackle is privacy, secure leak problems, compliance, IP theft. All these risks are going to impact how your organization can use the data, how AI is going to use the data. So that's where Protector comes in. That's the exact problem we solve. I'll walk you through how we solve it. That's where we fit in. And I'll talk a little bit about these risk before I go deeper into what Protector does. For example, many organizations have are in a regulated industry like
Mhm.
healthcare, financial services. There are restrictions on how they can use the data. Right? They cannot just take the data assets and put it in an AI application agent or a model and expect no compliance risk. There are implications. There are
True.
HIPAA regulations, there are privacy risks because that patient data can leak in a prompt or response. That will add to the privacy risk. Then the data leaks also come from within organizations. So it's not about sharing within a model, but even within an organization. Let's say, take an example where you are building an application that is going to analyze all your contracts and help you with the contracting. Now, if you load all your older contracts, somebody can start querying about what is the some particular person writing contracts on, right? What is the value of that contract? All those information are sensitive. That might leak, right? So
Absolutely.
data security is a problem. And also, if you think about it, some cases, some of the documents might have very confidential internal code words. One of the customers, they are working on Copilot for their sales, and they're feeding all kind of new products they're building so that they can help their sales reps do a better job. But the problem is these products not even announced to the world yet, right? But those kind of information might leak, right? So if you think about it, it's a broad spectrum of data risk that you're going to deal with. That's where Protecto is going to come and help you.
Fantastic. So, now that you've at least defined the risks of data access, you've defined the problem, can you also maybe switch and help with what the solution will look like
Yeah.
and define it
If
first? Yeah.
you, yeah. So in terms of let's think about a protector as a layer in between your agent and your warranty, right?
Hmm.
Let's say you have, we talked about few risks, right? For example, data privacy risk. We talked about sensitive data leaks. We talked about compliance and safety issues, right? What if one of the documents had some emails and email had some toxic content like a bad word or whatever? That shouldn't leak. It shouldn't go out to the AI, right? So this is a variety of risk. So Protector is a layer in between your agent and Ivanti. If you think of if the agent is directly going to fetch the data from Ivanti APIs, right? All this data is go as is. So Protector sits in between. Make sure based on authorization, if the data can go as is or it has to be masked. In the masked in a way, the important part is masked in a way your agents understand, but it's still not leaking your PII data, right? The PII data, if there is a name called John Smith, it will be converted into token so that the model still understands there's a person, J1, X1 exists, but it's not actually it doesn't know it's about John Smith, right?
Right.
Depending on organization, different things can be seen as a risky data, right? For example, a healthcare might see all the 18 identifiers they have HIPAA. They can put it on Protecto and say, this is our policy, and take care of it. Then anytime agent comes, instead of hitting directly Ivanti APIs, they're going to go through Protecto and know the changes to the flow, but we will apply that policy. Our models can identify what is sensitive and mask what is required, and keep your data safe and compliant and privacy protected for your AI use cases.
Fantastic. So we have Ivanti's IT service management product. It's a pretty widely used product. We have a lot of customers using it. There's a lot of enterprise data, sensitive corporate data that exists on it because it is used as a ticketing tool. You have a lot of how-to KB articles, community forums that we build on top of it, and customers add private data, public data, a little bit of something, a mix of both. And this, given that we have a lot of these data and there are AI agents, support agents, IT agents, dev agents. There's a mass proliferation of agentic AI.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So given all of this, now how is it that Protecto's unique approach is going to apply here? How will Protecto help, given that there are a lot of agents and we have Ivanti's ITSM software?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah,
help
great.
understand.
Yeah, great question, Kalyan. So I'll explain with one differentiation, then I'll go into the how the multiple agents come into picture. So I briefly touched about this problem in my previous comment that, hey, let's say you have a ton of data, for example, let's take a simple example where two people are exchanging email addresses, right, and phone numbers. This text is there, right? If you give that to a model, or LLM and ask, hey, what is Sophia Smith's email, right?
Mhm.
It will easily analyze the data and give you the results, right? It's not a complicated question. It's a simple text and answer.
Mm.
But once you mask the data, right, what happens is data becomes very incoherent, right? The model will think, oh, we are talking about 3%, 4 people. We don't know because all the numbers are, all the names are being replaced with the encrypted values or hashed values or completely removed, redacted. So
Mm.
your accuracy will start going down. All the agents you are talking about will not get the right data. Even they get the right data, they will not have the right context to answer questions, right? This is where Protecto's unique approach comes into play. What we do differently is instead of taking the data and just replacing or removing PII, we replace with the tokens, which are consistent format preserving, type preserving tokens, which are connected, right? So that we do bunch of activities on the background. First, we had to identify what is sensitive. We have to identify what are the components of the PII, how to preserve the format, the consistency, so that the Sophia Smith and Sophia get that same token, so that it goes to the model. It's all masked, but they would know it's from the same person. I can answer the question, right?
Nice.
So this is the first major differentiation how we operate um, in terms of maintaining your accuracy, because accuracy is the new currency. If I block all your data and your agents don't work, then agents are not useful at all, right? And if I not able to translate Ivanti data for agents, customers are not going to able to solve problems. So we have to we have to balance the act of protecting also while enabling AI. That's a one big difference. And there are, I generally tell three major reasons why people use Protecto, reasons why they pick Protecto. One is the masking I talked about. The second is our ability to identify what is sensitive, right? So you're going to give in a table, you're going to give in a prompt, you're going to give in a document. So you're going to give in variety of forms. We have to identify what is sensitive and we have to mask it, right? So the identification part, our models are very sophisticated. Our customers have benchmarked against many models, and we offer the best models identifying and efficient also. right? It's not like we are using a large language models. These are small, efficient models that design for identifying sensitive data. The second is the masking part I talked about. The third big important thing is, Kalyan, you have thousands of customers, right? So, right, and you think of how many of those customers will have how many of agents, right? Quickly, number of calls you are going to get, number of data is going to come, the request is going to come. Your product has to scale, right? So think of you are releasing it if one of your customers, right? Many of your customers are B2B customers. Some of the organizations are supporting other businesses. Now, your product has to scale for this volume and also be multi-tenanted, meaning your end customers are businesses, they are dealing with the businesses. I cannot commingle data. We have to keep the data separate. So we have to make sure we are processing them separate. We are doing it differently, I mean, separately, without commingling, giving the same security, allowing them to apply policies, right? Some of your customers might be hospitals. They have a different policy, right? They might say, all 18 are identifiers are risky. Somebody might be just following PCI, credit card information is risky. So there are different policies people apply. We support that. So the enterprise features, how we can scale, those are the reasons why we are different, right? So just to reconfirm what I said is, one is the identification part, second the masking part, second the enterprise features that we offer. These are the reasons why we are different and why this
How you stand out uniquely.
why you stand out. Yes.
Fantastic. So at some point, I'm trying to understand that what you're trying to do is make my APIs more secure. You're making them safer when it is interacting with these agentic apps.
Yes.
So maybe you want to touch on that fact on how you're trying to do this. How are you making our APIs more safe, more secure from privacy and compliance perspective related to
Oh,
AI?
yeah. Again, great question, Kalyan. So let me start with a simple, like, step-by-step process, right? So let's say we have an agent, right? Then agent is trying to ask for a data request. It can be an API call that instead of directly go to Ivanti API, is going to hit this safe API. So what it's going to do is, first the Protecto once the call comes, we have to scan for the prompt. If it's an API call or a prompt, we have to scan what type of PI is there, right? Any masked values there, any value to be masked, or any value to be unmasked, right? So we do that analysis first. Then what we do is we do the appropriate masking, unmasking, call the regular API. When the response comes, we run the other unmasking part. Some people have authorization to see the full data. Some people do not have authorization. In that case, based on their authorization, we are going to either mask the data for them, meaning you will not be able to see names, phone numbers. Some, they might be, because not every agent is allowed or every users of an agent is allowed, right? So based on the users, they can choose who gets to unmask. Then we do the unmask process. Then important thing is, once we send that to the agent, we log this information, right? Who called, what we sent, and what masking happened, right? These calls are is logged, so your admin can see, right, what is the activities happening, or what are the different calls we have hit and what different data has been shared, so that you are thinking that, hey, this agent is not supposed to see this, because people are deploying agents left and right center in our organization.
Absolutely.
Now you want to see a visibility into this, who's using my Ivanti's data, right? You want application data, then you will know what is happening here. And you can apply policies. You can say, hey, I was talking about who gets to mask, who gets to unmask, that policies, all these things that this admin can set it up in the Protecto. Make sense?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So would there be possibly now in this session, in this recording, there is a possibility of walking us through a real world scenario of how Protecto sort of
Sure.
helps
Yeah. So what I've done is put in a simple slide so that it's easy to follow, right? If I go to the next slide. So let's say, for example, you have an agent that won't access a ticket. Let's take a simple example. It's an API call. I'm looking for a ticket number, this one, right?
Okay.
And let's say you have, yeah, this ticket has a bunch of information. Somebody's complaining that, hey, my credit card has been can or my credit card has been denied. Tell me why, and these are information. Now, as is without this safe API, this information would have directly gone to the agent, right? Because it has all the information. Now, let's say this particular company has a specific policy. That policy says, hey, my data, you can send the names, but don't send the credit card numbers and phone numbers. These are sensitive for me, right?
Yeah.
That Protecto takes that policy. It identifies what is sensitive in this full text, right? Then starts masking what are the sensitive parts to the data,
And
right?
it automatically does that.
Automatically does it. You need not do anything. It knows what is sensitive. That prompt can be, the ticket can be any format, or the input can be anything. It doesn't matter. It will identify what is sensitive. The critical thing is it is going to replace it, it a token. And what it's going to do is it's going to maintain the structure of the data the same. So when the agent sees it, the models inside will know, hey, there is a credit card number here. They are complaining about it. I don't know the credit card number, but there's a credit card number here.
Okay.
Oh, there's a phone number here. Yeah, I know, right? So the models will understand the context, but still the data is not data is not being shared, and that data goes to the masked data goes to their end user, the agent's end user, right? And they can do further processing and work with that.
Fantastic. That kind of privacy is sort of super important because there's a whole lot of information. You could have a system that has about 10,000 tickets that is, looking back at 3 years or 5 years. There's a lot of data, private data that is sensitive. And with
Absolutely,
it coming in, we don't want to be training them or enabling them with that information. And we want to sort of
absolutely.
create a secure layer. How can you ensure that only authorized users or agents can access
Yeah.
the unmasked data?
Yeah, fantastic question again. So the same example, we can take the same example. Let's say here we are processing, some people are just processing first level support, and some
Hmm.
are authorized users who wants to see deeper if there's a fraud in this one. They want to really look at these guys flag it. Hey, this is something looks like a fraud. You have to
Hmm.
look into it. Now your authorized user is going to step in. They want to see the full data. So
Okay.
they will hit Protecto with unmask call, right? Protecto, based on this authorization, right? It knows I can unmask it for this authorized users.
Okay.
And they will see the actual data access,
Hmm.
what was written. Now they can have the next step. They can do few things like they want to ask another question to the agent. Again, they can send the question, it will get answered. And these guys, for them, the answers will be always unmasked because they are authorized.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Clear. So, given this, as AI becomes, I would say, more prevalent, how do you see the landscape of data security evolving? Like, what advice would you give to businesses looking to leverage AI as they're protecting their sensitive data?
Absolutely. So this, I would say, Kalyan, the world is not the same as pre-AI, post-AI. We are in a new AI first world. Here, your input model has changed,
Hmm.
meaning your conversational instead of clicking on buttons. The type of data you're dealing with, structured versus unstructured, variety of data has changed. Your development model is changing, right? Because earlier you had to dev, test, and production separate. Now it's all one big cycle. Think about it. You have because people are constantly tweaking because accuracy has to come, right? People are
Absolutely.
working on the same continuous learning model, right?
True.
So in this new world, there is no separate dev and test. So first thing people have to realize is, hey, the data I'm going to use, it's going to be seen by developers, testers, all people working on the AI development cycle, right?
True.
This your AI agent, everybody has to see because they're working on tweaking the accuracy, getting the feedback, bias, many reasons they need to see the data. So how do you protect? So that's one risk they have to definitely take care. Second is they cannot just block the data. There are tools, they will say, if there is a PI, I'm going to block it. That's
True.
not practical because many data will be sensitive, but still, that's where the business value is, right? If you're not taking advantage of that, then you're losing out, right? Your competition is going to beat you, market is going to move. So there's no way you can say block the data from AI or sensitive data, I'm not going to send it to AI. That's not going to work. So you have to find a way to use your sensitive data in this new model, right? So you have to assume the AI continues to grow, right? You will be forced to use sensitive data in the AI. And the variety of models that you're going to see, just now DeepSeek came. So you will see a variety of models coming in. And you cannot fully control the environment where your data is going to be used, which model is going to be sent, what are the parameters on which that AI agent is going to be built, internal or external, right? So better to control the source and how the data is being sent so that you can track who's seeing the full data, who's seeing the masked data, who's seeing the unmasked data. All those information you can see and track, right? So that's another your models and number of models inside an organization is going to dramatically change, grow. And on top of it, all these things, what is also happening is your regulations, the customer expectations is also like pushing organizations to, like, for example, you're dealing with other businesses. So the business will ask you, how are you protecting my data in AI? Show me a feature, show me how. Then you have to show them how you're protecting the data in AI. So you need tools like Protecto, or you have to build it somehow, something in-house, or you can use Protecto to show this is how we protect data inside. So these are the variety of things, how you're developing, how the market is evolving, how the technology is evolving, and how your customers are going to expect market expectations are defined. So in that context, you have to think about data security and privacy, right? In this context. So blocking the data is not an option. So how do you enable data in the new world and take advantage of all the technology and innovate without taking huge risk on sensory data or proprietary data? Yeah, that's what I.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That is truly helpful. So I think with that, we can probably end this session, and then we can connect again, perhaps, to show how the real demo looks like, probably in the next video, we can walk them through.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kalyan. Really appreciate it. This is a fantastic opportunity. We are excited about how we are going to partner with Ivanti and how you're going to help your customers. We want all your customers to take advantage of Ivanti and Ivanti's rich data and features and take it to AI as well, right? We are excited about the partnership. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you.
To learn more, visit www.protector.ai or search for Protector in Ivanti's marketplace.